So in this video, I want to consider if the hard problem of consciousness is really, or at least it could be, a Zen koan. Now, most of you probably know that a Zen koan is a story that trips up the thinking mind, and it asks impossible questions, paradoxical questions like, what was your face like before you were born? Or in one case, one of my favorite stories is from Alan Watts, when he tells about a student on his way to being tested with koan. And he knew it would be something like, show me your true self. And so he got a frog and stuffed it in his kimono. And when asked this question, he pulled the frog out, and the teacher just laughed and said, that's too intellectual. And so you could see this historically in humanity, where it became more obvious the consequences of buying into the thinking mind. And so practices such as koan have helped alleviate that. They're methods to get beyond thinking. So could the hard problem of consciousness be really used more like a koan? And when I say the hard problem, of course, they mean the difficult problem. I like to think of it as a soft problem because the brain is about the consistency of half-done jello, so it's soft. But that's the question: how does this soft, half-done jello of 87 billion neurons, how does the brain give rise or create consciousness? And there are definitely people who buy into this. I mean, very seriously. People like Francis Crick, who wrote The Astonishing Hypothesis. And the astonishing hypothesis was just that. It was another version of the hard problem, that somehow the brain, and the brain alone, gives rise to consciousness. But when we ask that, you can take that, almost the absurdity or the paradoxical qualities of that, and turn it into a koan. So I could ask, how does the brain give rise to consciousness? In the same way that I could ask, what sound does a color make? Or, the idea of, well, how do I become enlightened? And the teacher says, go wash the dishes. So in this sense, we could ask, well, how does the brain give rise to consciousness? And we could ask, who's asking the question?